Good morning. Morning, folks. Morning, Amira. Morning, James. Morning, Leon. Morning, John. Hope you all had a good weekend. Just reading your message now, John. Good morning, all. Seemed like an interesting day when it could go either way. Yeah, could rally, or is everything just pulling back to equity hunt, then continue as per last week? I'm still in GJ long, UJ long, EN short, CJ, and what's that? Swiss yen longs. Break even from most. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, right? I didn't expect the bounce on Friday. It seems to come as investors thinking it's going to be a 75 basis point hike rather than 100. For me, does that mean the market should rally on that fundamentally? I don't personally think so. You know, if we go into a little bit of fundamentally wise, there's that ECB meeting on Thursday. Possibly, I think it's the first time in a decade. I think they're going to raise rates, or people are expected to raise rates, or investors are expecting the ECB to raise rates on Thursday. But from a personal standpoint, do I think why is it? I don't. I kind of agree. I think maybe this is a little bit of a dead cat bounce. From a technical perspective, we didn't break and close underneath B wave. Right, so obviously we got that daily hammer, and we're pushing on. Still isn't pullback, but do I think that that's gonna send the market soaring? That we're expecting a 75 basis point hike rather than the initial thought about 100? Not really. You know, I don't think this sustains anything massively different happens. I think there is some CPI data coming out this week as well, but. Yeah, I think ultimately it comes back down. Right now it has gapped up. There is some strength here. Absolutely. 4 hour does look okay. And this is probably where the technicals come in a little bit better than the fundamentals, because, like I said, I don't personally think that warrants the push in the market like we've seen. So, from a technical perspective, 4 hour perspective, we've got to assume here that possibly we're in this rangy environment that potentially could continue until Thursday. Eyes will be on, I believe it's Thursday, right? Let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure it's Thursday. Thursday morning, silver. Let me just double. 1 second, guys. Let's take this up here. The calendar for this week. Filter. There we go. Yeah, ECB monetary policy statement on Thursday morning. An interest rate decision, obviously. Okay, so that's why I think we range until then, right? I do think we range. I cannot see us pushing on. I just generally can't. I generally can't. But let's see. So SPX, I'm going to continue with that range. It does look a little bit more risk intraday. But it's a Monday. It does look good. It possibly gets up to this area. You think these support and resistance areas are a bit like magnets, right? So morning, Ash. I think possibly we get up there. Markets make a decision here. If it pushes through, would I buy it? Would I think it's maybe a bit more of a hunt rather than a fluid push through? I would think maybe that. Buys are still got to be down, right? Buys are still down, and that's what I will continue to say. So I think rangy. Let the market to decide, or let the market tell us. But it does look a little bit more risk on in intraday. And the opposite with what we're thinking because of that, dollar been obviously very strong. It could be time for a potential dollar pullback. From a 4 hour perspective, we've been hugging that 20, on this ride up, and possibly we need a little bit of a harder reset before continuation. Very similar to the SPX. My buys for the dollar is long, looking for that reason to enter, which may be best to look at it from the daily, where we could get a few days of pullback, seeing by that USD CAD trade, which is coming off a little bit on Friday. Again, I decided not to take TP1 on USD CAD. Obviously, that nothing's banked, nothing's closed, so we have to see. I still like the play. This doesn't have to pull back right, all the way back here. I still like dollar strength. I still think it's a safe bet to put your money in the dollar right now. So waiting for that reason to enter, pullback mode in the dollar, pullback mode in the SPX. It may continue until Thursday. You'll wait till 4,200 for the SPX. 42. Oh, right. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. For the change in sentiment, yes. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, watch this today. Not much on to look out for. I had a pound Aussie short on this 4-hour chart. Looking to be retesting this area right now. Not something I was massively comfortable taking a break or an aggressive entry in. It's something that I was looking at, but again, there was just something, my gut telling me that I'd rather wait, you know, for a potential breakout here, a retest, just purely because of where that daily was. You know, we're in this obviously this rangy environment. We could be looking at this as accumulation. You could be looking at this as accumulation, which theoretically says we push to the upside. But recent price action is suggesting that this is falling off, and with the pound being as weak as it has been, you know, even if we get down to that bottom of the range, we'll certainly get 1-to-1, and obviously a little bit more, because with a 4-hour breakout, you're selling the candle rather than the previous swing. So we look to be within, you know, the setup here is a head and shoulders. You're seeing the squeeze down into the area, a good area to break from, and within this steady state retest, looking for that 20-period catch up, which may come, what are we, 10, probably Tuesday, probably something tomorrow for a breakout and retest. So pound Aussie potential shorts, and I like the idea of it. I know we're in this rangy environment, but I kind of like the idea of going short on it. If we look at the weekly again, the weekly does, you are going with that trend. Excuse me, you are going with that trend down. So for me, my gut, like I said, my gut kind of likes that pound Aussie short. And if we zoom in on recent price action, the other way to look at it from the bearish sense is that we've continued to fail at this level, and now we're coming down. So we look at the last few days, right? This is certainly bearish. You said we can see that break underneath, but you know, this is where you're getting a little bit more confidence in the fact that here, yes, you could look at this as, you know, are we within this continuation? Yeah, there's two sides to every coin, but recent price action and the setup is pretty good. So pound Aussie potential shorts on a 4-hour breakout retest. And the other one was Aussie yen long. So Aussie yen long, which kind of has to go pretty soon. Right, I'm looking at this on the hourly. Got our cup with handle here, if I zoom in. So we've got our cup with handle, accumulation at the area here, getting a little bit of a potential smaller time frame retail stop out before moving to the upside and breaking through. But initial basing structure, secondary structure is okay. Accumulation is enough to digest this. Again, from a daily perspective, although I don't agree with it, it is, if we talk about the RTM, the concept of RTM ready to move, you know, we're kind of coming out of this area, which we technically are, you know, still on that trending market. And if we get a push, you know, i.e. similar to this, right, down here, that can absolutely happen with the yen weakening off. Again, you know, I don't like where the yen is, but I can't ignore that chart, certainly with where it is, with you know, the potential to move as it has, right? Back in that corrective coming out. Technicals from a higher time frame there are good. So I think this does break with how the markets are looking right now. And even if we get some push, some weakness off in the yen, a bit of risk off throughout the week, i.e. potentially up until Thursday, that will obviously help this Aussie yen with the yen weakness in general anyway. So I like this idea. I do like this idea. I hope it does break out and retest in the way that I like it. I can look at the 30-minute as well. And this is the main one that I'll be keeping my eye on. So Aussie yen, potential longs. Yeah, I kind of like it. I have to say. Right, USD CAD. So USD CAD, I haven't really made the best decisions with these one-to-ones, or sorry, the one-to-ones that I haven't taken. So I think every one this year that I've decided to leave open has come back off. That's, you know, the last 6 months of, you know, that's just what happens. You know, it's going to be swings and roundabouts. There will be one where I decide to leave it be and it does go. This one obviously hit 1-to-1. Again, trade management is a very personal thing. If you are taking the same trades that I'm taking, you know, just understand that again, I'm not here to be a copy. This is what I'm choosing to do. Weekly perspective, I am expecting this to potentially get stopped out, but as I said, nothing has been banked yet. I'm not stopped out yet, and this will just run as it wants to run. If I get stopped out, fine, I've accepted the risk. That's why I create a larger buffer as I go along. And again, another losing trade. I understand that this year, you know, as time goes on, the win rate will probably not, you know, the win rate will probably stay the same as it is, where I'm winning less trades. But an EU will come along, a Kiwi yen will come along, a pound CAD will come along, a euro yen will come along at some point over the next months towards the end of the year. And yeah, USD CAD is in. Whatever will be, will be. This is my stop for my first trade management, right? Which I wouldn't have hit TP on for a 2-to-1 anyway, right? So it looks as if that gets hit out, obviously I'll update the spreadsheet, etc. But as I said, nothing is stopped out yet. Nothing is stopped out yet. We still are in an uptrend. I still like the dollar play. But maybe it's just the wrong timing. And I think that's all she wrote for a Monday. Anything you guys want me to look at? As I said, this is my last week before I go on holiday. I am kind of looking forward to a little bit of a break, as I think everybody should at some point in time. We don't have to trade every single week. So I won't be shutting down the Discord or the RTFX Discord. I will be around texting, and if you want to ask questions, I'll obviously still be here. I just won't be streaming. And somebody's at my door. So if you want, somebody's at my door. Silver, I'll have to go and get this, but I'll look at your charts. So if you post them into the chat, I'll look at your charts, and I'll give you feedback on text, right? Okay, so sorry guys, I've got to go. Someone's there. Trade safe, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow, right? Sorry guys.